Valdepeñas is a city that is in the province of Ciudad Real in Castilla-La Mancha in Spain that has 30,000 inhabitants. It has so many places, but one of its landmarks is the Consolación Borough, which in 1949 it annexed to Valdepeñas, which made the population of that place increase to the 30,000 inhabitants that maintains to nowadays. The Consolación Borough, it was part of a small village called Villanueva de Franco, but as I said before, in 1949 it annexed to Valdepeñas. It is quite an enjoyable place with schools. It's another residential area of Valdepeñas. It's quite far from the city itself, but it's like a small village, as I've said before. Then we have El Peral, which is like a natural place or park, as you can imagine, that is quite good to be there in summer. It has so many green areas where you can play football, many plants and flowers in order to see nature and some animals as well. In summer, I think that there are crabs in a small river that is near there. And El Peral it is part from Valdepeñas as well as other nearby villages such as Membrilla. And it is located around 7 kilometers far away from Valdepeñas. And it has several remodelations in order to be adapted to the child of nowadays and so on, because it is a place that has some years, more than ours, so more than 30 years, I can imagine. As well as it is a great place in order to celebrate your birthday, because it's a green area where then there is a few houses that are rural houses. In winter and autumn and so on, not nowadays because of the COVID-19 pandemic, but before this, there were for winter, for all the cold seasons, you could go there and pick up your food and cook it in a barbecue, which is quite common. It was common in summer, but the rules changed and so on, and it is now available in the cold seasons, autumn, winter, early stages of the spring.
In our country, we celebrate some festivals. For example, the Easter week, that here in Spain is called Semana Santa, the Carnival, and the August Fair, that in Valdepeñas is celebrated in August, in which teenagers mostly and family go to spend a good time together. But the most famous and important festivity in Valdepeñas are the wine festivals that began about the 30th of August to 8th of September. That each day organize some different activities. For example, a competition of limonada. That limonada is a drink in which made in lemon and sugar. And this competition is consist in compete some groups and see was the best group that make the limonada, and this better group win a prize. There are a lot of concerts too that came to Valdepeñas famous people. There are some shows of Manchegos dance, and in the main square of the city put on music for dance, especially for the teenagers, and they pass a good time with their friends. This festivity is very entertainment and you can enjoy a lot with your family and friends, and a lot of tourists came for know about this. But unfortunately, this year we can't celebrate any of these activities because of the COVID, but hopefully the next year they can be celebrated, and I encourage you to go.
Here in Valdepeñas, we start the Christmas with the traditional lighting in the Plaza of Constitución, where they have located a new Christmas ball made of recycled materials to save the environment, made by the creative users of a fat Valdepeñas. Then it is followed with the traditional Christmas lighting of the amazing Christmas tree, where it has been placed in the main square, in front of the church. This ornament is also made of recycled materials and it has several meters of height. Moreover, there are lots of beautiful Christmas lights in the streets. Besides, we can visit the library named Ana de Castro to see the big and amazing nativity scene that is exposed in the ground floor. For the kids of the house, we have a very traditional, funny and entertainment activities like Chicolandia. Chicolandia is a game fair for the children that takes place in the fair pavilion named Esteban López de Vega, where they can play with other kids and make some varied workshop. Also, in the mornings, one train passes through the streets to get kids and take them to the Chicolandia. This medium of transport is named Treniche. On the 4th of January, the kids make a queue with their family to give their wish list to the royal postman of the three wishmen, in order to give the children's letter to their royalties. In the same day, in the evening, we celebrate the Solidarity Roscon, that this is organized by the Brotherhood of Misericordia to collect money in order to help families and to help the poorest families in the city. This activity consists of paying 2 euros for a hot chocolate or a piece of cake or for roscon, and all the profits goes to the Brotherhood of Misericordia. And the most anticipated activity for all the people is the brilliant and spectacular cavalcade of the three wishmen. They travel a lot of streets in order to see the kids and to throw candies and sweets.
Activities and places to visit in Valdepeñas. An interesting activity is to visit the Ibero deposit, Cerro de las Cabezas, which is located about 8 kilometers south of the current city of Valdepeñas, and you can find the archaeological remains of an ancient Iberian city. It also has a magnificent interpretation center, in which the natural environment where the city grew up is explained in an entertaining and very educational way. The ticket of entrance is free. You can also visit some museums, such as Museo Wine, translated into Spanish, Museo del Vino, which is located in an old winery in which the history of wine and the various vicissitudes are explained to this day. Or you can visit the Wine Mile, which is the biggest wine mile of the world. Besides, you can go to the bars and have some tapas. Another place that Valdepeñas has and where you can go are the 2 gyms with indoor swimming pools, the cinema, the skate park, the disco Novo, the pretty main square next to the town hall, which contains a big church and is surrounded by many bars and restaurants, the theater, the tennis courts, or the pavilions where you can practice different sports. Finally, you can carry out routine activities, for example, to go shopping to the supermarkets or clothes shops, such as Mercadona, Stradivarius, or Decathlon.
The most recommended hotels in Valdepeñas are the Hotel Veracruz, which has a spa, and the Central Hotel. For lunch or dinner, there are many places such as the San Antonio Restaurant or Ivan Tavern, which are in the Central Square. But if you like fast food, you can go to the Burger King that is next to the Valdepeñas Cinema. If you like more pizza, you can go to the Telepizza, Domino's Pizza, Pizza Fly, the Leñador, Pomodoro, or the Sevilla Corcho, which are all in the square. And if you like tapas food, you can go to the Josele, Bar de mi Papá, the Penalty Bar, or the Domingo Bar, or you can go to Montaditos. And if you like more bars with music, you can go to Margarita Pub or the Envy.
Curiosities of Valepenas. Valdepeñas is well known as the city of wine. Not surprisingly, the history of Valdepeñas is partly linked to the history of wine, and it's also known as the largest wine bar in the world. One of the best ways to enjoy the wine culture in Valdepeñas is to visit one of the different wine bars that are found in the town. Another curiosity is that under the church of the Plaza de España, in 2018, there was a cemetery that belongs to the 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries. During the reforms of the church that took place in 2017, there were found crypts with 96 niches with their bodies in coffins. More than 6,000 deaths were found too, including children and adults. An interesting fact about Valdepeñas is that we love indoor football, since most of the people here are very supportive of our Miñal Valley indoor football team. This team was created in 2002 and received the name of FS Valdepeñas. In that moment, it played in 3rd Division of Spain, but in 2018, when it started playing in 1st Division of Spain and Félix Solís became its sponsor, FS Valdepeñas became commercially known as Viñal Valley Valdepeñas, one of Félix Solís' wine.